Good morning, my Abba Arbak. Here's the plan. North perimeter wall, quite a few guys working there. Inside the house, some cleanup going on. We're not yet even close to the 28-day mark after they poured the second floor slab, so those braces have to remain in place, so we can't really build walls around them. We've got the swimming pool crew, at least the beginnings of it. So we're going to make a start on pegging out where the pool will be. We've got rough ideas, but that needs to be finalised. And then off we go with the swimming pool. What could possibly go wrong? Well, this is exciting. We have the beginnings of the swimming pool crew, and we've just been having a quick chat about the positioning of the pool and the positioning within the pool of where the deepest part's going to be, where the shallower part's going to be, where there's a central kind of seating area within the pool, so we're just figuring out that orientation. Measured everything again just to make sure we understand it, and the boss over there is giving her seal of approval, or not, I think she has. But this is it, the beginnings of our swimming pool, which may be a bit premature given that the house itself is still months and months and months away, but that's how they're going to do it. So we're just measuring out and staking out everything, and my initial reaction is, oh my goodness, what are we doing? The pool, I mean, I'm standing very roughly at the edge of the pool, the southern edge. Looking north, it's going to go down to the pump room, which is 20, I think on the drawing it's 21 metres. And then sun might interfere a bit, but going this way, it's about 10 metres. It's not square, you'll see as it develops. Sorry, it's not rectangular. But oh my word, this pool is going to be enormous. And then I'm really pleased that right at the beginning of the process, we asked the builder to move the house a little bit more towards the road. So it's given us a really good space here to do whatever we want to do. Not sure yet, but we'll see how that works out. It means that at the back of the pool, where that wall is, there's really not very much room to do anything. There will be an access path to the pump room. Might just about be enough room to stick a tree or two and some vegetation, but it's going to be very limited, but it doesn't matter. But this pool it's a bit of a beast. You can see all these things on bits of paper, but when you actually see things marked out, it's like the house. It is so much bigger than I imagined it would be, which is lovely. Oh my goodness, what's the maintenance cost going to be on something like this? Oh, I don't think about it. So the other thing we're having to think about this morning is the pool will be a kind of a figure 8 shape. And in one end of it, we're going to have a sunken seating area. So we're just trying to figure out which end that should be in. And on the original plan, it is down where all the guys are chatting, basically up where there will be a waterfall coming off the roof of the pump room. So I think we've decided that's the wrong end. We would prefer to have the seating area closer to where I'm standing in this end of the figure 8, just to avoid, I don't know, any splashing that might happen from the waterfall, any extra noise. Although I imagine that once we're sitting in that sunken area, there'll be plenty of noise being generated by the chatter. Anyway, that looks like the decision. Seating area towards this end. I'm not sure if we've got any more decisions to make. I think we've already decided which end will be the slightly deeper end. The maximum, I think, is going to be 6 feet, and the minimum will be 3 feet. I think we've decided where that's all going to be. Not sure what else there is to decide. I think at some point we have to make a decision about the levelness of everything. Are there any steps down from one area to another, because the land is not, you've seen before, the grading of the land is not flat. So we've got to figure all that out, and always we've got to be bearing in mind that there will be kids here. So I think in our mind, the least number of steps anywhere, the better. Well, it's only about 5 minutes later and the plan's changed. And it's changed because the foreman is concerned about the stability of the soil. And basically what he said is he doesn't like the fact that the pool is going to be pretty close to that wall. And if the soil's not stable enough, that could cause issues. So we moved it. It has come back towards me about a metre or so, maybe a little bit more, which means that the waterfall that was going to come off the top of the pump room probably now won't. There'll have to be a little design change to figure out what we can do instead of that. But effectively, we've moved the whole thing, I would say, a metre or maybe even a couple of metres closer to the house. But that means we've still got, if you can make it out, green on green is not great, but the green tape roughly marks the outline of the pool. I'll zoom in if I can't see this clearly, and we've still got, I don't know, 8 metres, 9 metres to the house. So all this space is still free, plenty of room to do really whatever we want to do with it. But there you go, plan's changing as we speak. I'll come back in another 10 minutes and it'll probably be changed again. I'm trying to stay out of this one. With all this stuff about the pool going on, it'll be quite easy to forget there's work elsewhere. But here, north wall, we've got, I think, about 8 guys, it might even be 9 or 10, working over here. So, trench digging and measuring and potentially, they've already started putting some forms up on some of the columns, and hollow block will be going in, and concrete potentially will be going in today, and just a lot more digging up ahead, and maybe more tree removal. We shall see. Inside here today may not be the most exciting part of the day, but still work going on. By the look of it, the last phenolic boards, the forms coming down, and then I think really just a lot of cleanup. There may be bits more of scaffolding that come out, but not without affecting the integrity of the bracing. But it's just basically cleanup, and that probably is going to be true here for about another 10 days until we reach that 28-day watershed. 28 days after we poured the second floor slab. Lead foreman Manny is probably one of the happiest people on the planet right now. Now, I don't mean to belittle parents who've just had their first child safely born, or people who've seen their favourite sports team win for the first time in 87 matches, but Manny has had it confirmed today that he now needs to spend quite a lot of time in the diggerator. And not only has he got to spend quite a lot of time in the diggerator, he's got a kind of a challenging diggerator job to dig this thing out. Diggerating is, I think, where Manny is happiest on a building site. So I think we'll be seeing, well, if you could see his face, I'm pretty confident there'd be a big smile on it right now. Back on the north wall, concrete's being poured, the trench is being dug. The chainsaw is getting a little bit of maintenance right now, which may or may not mean that the 3 tree stumps that you might be able to make out on the left might all be coming out. we shall have to watch this space and see whether they keep removing all of these. I would be happier, I've said before, I'd be happier if they do, because as long as they're in there, the roots can potentially keep growing and cause damage. So we'll see what happens. Coming from the pump room across to this section of the north wall, we have now got a new column in, so I assume that it won't be too long before they're going to connect this wall, west facing, to the north wall over here behind these fellas. Maybe that's coming in the next day or three. It's about 2:30 and we've got about 8 guys working either downstairs or upstairs. And this looks a bit different, a lot tidier. They have cleaned up an awful lot of stuff down here. I'm not going upstairs just now, but I'm assuming that they're making similar progress up there. So this is looking very clean and tidy. Still some work to do, but getting close. And Manny's been diggerating most of the day so far. And we've got a slightly different looking hole to the one that we had. He's building dirt castles. Not quite sure what the plan is here. It will evolve quite quickly, I am sure. They have indeed started filling in the gap on this corner. We have got about 5 levels of concrete hollow block in here. And then round the corner, even higher, some of it, and a initial tie beam, or a secondary tie beam, I suppose. You've got the one at the base, then we've got another one, which again is about 5 levels, 6 levels up, and then continued above that. Beyond that, we'll go and have a look from the other end. More columns have gone in, more base tie beams have gone in. The trench has extended, including, of course, the holes for the footings, and they're just keeping on going. Not yet, Dizzy Pills, sorry, not yet removing all of the tree trunks, tree stumps as they go. We will see whether they come out or not. The bell's gone. So we'll start here on the north wall, where trenches were continued to be dug, holes for footings were continued to be dug. They've left in, so far, these trees or tree stumps on the left. Again, remains to be seen whether these will come out. We'll look again from the other end. So from this end, we've got about 7 sections that have been started with hollow block. I think these columns, the bottom parts of these columns, have been poured. We've got the tie beam to about 5 sections, this intermediate tie beam, and 1 level of concrete hollow block above that intermediate beam, plus the bit just on the corner there, it is getting filled in. So pretty good going for one day. Ground floor. Most of the stuff that was in here is gone. Still a little bit to tidy out, but a lot of it has been cleaned up. Slightly less has been done on the second floor, but I'm sure that's next. And it did get some cleanup today. But the sexy bit is here, although it's not looking very sexy right now. This is where lead foreman Manny appears to have decided, no, he's not digging out a pool, he's going to create mounds of dirt. Seems to be almost the opposite of creating a pool. We're going up rather than down, but I'm sure it's part of the grand plan. And they did, towards the end of the day, they did wheel away in the truck some of the dirt that was piled up right in front of us. So there we go. The end of day, what is it, 82? The start of the swimming pool. A lot of cleanup in the house. Quite a lot of extension on the north wall. Nothing really went wrong apart from the pool going up, not down. And I'm sure it's not wrong. So come back and see the next exciting part of
building a swimming pool upwards tomorrow. See you then.